Hey guys, Dan here. Some people have asked how we go about sleeping a family of 4 in the Oztent. So we've got 2 young kids in the Oztent RV5. I thought I'd show you around about how we do that. So coming inside, straight up you can see we've got 3 self-inflating mattresses, 1, 2 and 3. And this third one on this side is leaning up against a Porot, which the Porot we just got from Aldi. And so this is our daughter's bed, so she only takes up, she's 4, so she takes up less than half the mat. And we just made sure it was safe, that it's not going to smother Heath when he's in the cot. But that's how we do it. If you're carting around a 2-meter long tent, the chances are you're probably willing to bring along a pretty comfortable sleeping arrangement. So either a self-inflating mat like these, or an inflatable mattress, or of course a stretcher. Before I talk about anything, I should mention we always set up the tent so that our head is on the uphill incline, and it's always best to have your sleeping going this way in the tent rather than across the tent, and that's so people don't have to climb over you as they're getting in and out of the tent. So everyone can sort of walk in, lay on their bed straight away and not tumble over each other. But it depends on the ground. So we'll usually orient the tent so that we can have this sleeping arrangement like this. The good thing about using self-inflating mats, or being low to the ground in general, is you make full use of the internal space of the tent. So you can have your head right up against the end there, and you're not going to be touching this canvas. Whereas if you're on a stretcher, you're going to be kind of impeding or intruding on the back wall of the tent. So in that way, the self-inflating mats make the best use of the space. You could have your self-inflating mat all the way down at the bottom, and then have some area at the head of the end. But I reckon having some space as you step into the tent is better. If you go all the way up the other end, then the bar of the frame on the ground can be digging into your shoulders or your back. So I recommend coming down just slightly to about there. So your pillow is square over the frame, and then you've got sort of an area to step in on the inside. So yeah, that's a decision you got to make, is where do you want that stepping space, assuming you've got about a 2-meter mat. So the RV5's 2 meters and 60 centimeters, 2.6 meters. So you've got a bit of space to play, but you've got to work out what you want to do. So these mats we've got 3 Monstamat singles by Zempire. So Zempire Monstamat single stretchers. They're 69 wide, I think, and just under 2 meters long. And that allows you to fit 3 in really comfortably with a bit of space to spare. So you could fit 2 king singles pretty comfortably with a heap of room. And I've seen people put 2 twin Monstamats. I've seen photos on Facebook squishing 2 in, which is just slightly larger than 260. So you're kind of forcing the corners into the tent of the mattress. But these work really well. These are 10 mil thick. What we usually do is I let them inflate naturally. They've got a really durable bottom on them, and then a nice soft top. We usually let them inflate naturally using the normal air way, and then when we're ready to go to bed, I blow into them to get them to the kind of the perfect amount. I even lay on it and then deflate it while I'm laying on it. So I purposely pump it up too much, and then bring it back down as I'm laying on it, and I can feel the comfort. But there really is a sweet spot. My daughter's having problems waking up in the middle of the night at home when we're not camping, and I've done a few nights sleeping on the floor of her room in one of these, and I get just as good a night's sleep as I do at home. So these have been really good. So yeah, 3 of them, and then we've got the Porot on the side here. Just make sure if you've got a young one that it's not gonna hurt them or smother them if you're leaning anything up against them in the tent. When Heath is a little bit older and he's not in the cot anymore, then we'll probably do away with one of these mattresses and then get a bunk bed system of stretchers. So it'll be two of these single mats and a bunk bed stretcher, like the Kid-O-Bunks or Oztrail make one, something like that. So that's down the track. That's how we plan to manage it. I think having single ones is more practical than having like 2 doubles or whatever. You get a better night's sleep if you're on a single mattress by yourself, and at home they're easier to store, they're easier to transport, and they're just more flexible and easier to handle for one person to roll up. So I'd rather have more of these, butt them together, than have an actual twin mattress in here. Talking about stretchers for a sec, the Oztent Gecko is the mid-size one that Oztent offer. And in the RV5 you can fit 2 comfortably, and you still get a nice passage walkway down the middle. If you've got the RV4 you can still fit 2 of those in, but you don't have as much room. You're more or less taking up most of the usable space of the tent. And I've seen people stuff 2 of these stretchers in an RV3, and when you do that you've got no room at all. It's pushing up against the canvas. So I kind of like this because the self-inflating mats, because you've still got that room to stand up. You know, it still feels nice and open. I think this space would close in a lot with stretchers. It's a personal preference of how you like to sleep. People love stretchers, or they love sleeping on the ground. It's one or the other. But this is what's worked for us. 3 mats, the porta cot, and then eventually we'll look at a bunk system. While I've got you here, there's a couple of cool things I want to show you. Come in. This is Oztent's new hanging shelf system. In my first Oztent review video, I said how difficult it can be to hang things up in here and make use of the available space. But this is really good. So it folds up into a neat little package, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little shelves. You know, you could have baby change stuff on one, toys on another, his and hers clothing, spare blankets, toiletries, your torches, all that stuff can go here, and it's easily accessible. Heath so far hasn't figured out how to climb it, but I'm sure he's going to try at some point. But that's the only thing, is kids will latch onto that. Check out these lights here. I've just got a set of these. These are called a U-Lite by Korr, and they came in a pack of 4, and they've got a magnet, so you can stick it to the side of the car or a tent pole, and you can also wrap it around anything and create a bungee loop like I've done here on the aluminium frame. And they're essentially got various modes, and what's really good about them in a set of 4 is that they come with a single splitter cable to charge, so you can charge all 4 of them at the same time. So that's really cool. And we've got, you know, a couple here, a couple in the Hexatarp. You know, if we're mucking around the car boot at night, put one, you know, above the boot, stuff like that. So they're super handy and really well suited to the Oztent, because they can get around the awkward shaped frame with these loops. Paige, you right? Yeah. This thing here is a fan and light combination, Adventuridge, which is the Aldi brand, so nothing too fancy, but it's just got a fan on it, which we really like. Just moves the air around. You got 4 people in here. In summer it can get pretty stuffy, and it prolongs the heat hitting the tent in the morning, so if you did feel like sleeping in, it's nice for that as well. But yeah, it helps move air around the tent. It's got a couple of different settings. So yeah, recommend getting a tent fan and some practical ways to light the tent. I'm interested to know how you utilize the space inside the Oztent to sleep your family, or maybe just a couple. It's certainly a versatile tent, and I like hearing how other people go about it. Thanks for watching. Ask me any questions. See you soon.